Hey everyone, it's Nolan with Blender2D.com. In today's video, I'm going to continue the cartoon character that we are modeling. I am going to show you how to give him a toon shading and freestyle lines so that he looks like a 2D character instead of a 3D model. Alright, let's get started. So, first off, looking at this character, the way I have the eyes sunk in is a bad idea just for this character. I'm used to usually having eye sockets and putting really a round eye in a 3D model, but this isn't the case. So we're going to actually tab back into edit mode, and I'm going to delete all these faces in here. And go into X-ray mode by pressing Z. And then pressing X and clicking faces. Alright, I'm going to come out of X-ray mode. I'm going to enable edge select, and I'm going to press Control Alt. And it's not working, but usually Control Alt will select the whole loop. It would probably work on this outside one. Nope. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Control Shift. If I click Control Shift on this inside loop, it should highlight it all. But it's not, so I'm just going to select it all by hand. Alright, so I have this loop selected. I'm going to press E, Y for moving on the Y axis, and I'm just going to move it out just a little bit. And I'm going to press S to scale. I'm going to E to extrude again on the Y axis. S to scale. E one more time. S to scale. And then I am going to switch into vertice mode. Press W, and this menu will appear, and I'm going to click merge at center. Alright. Now I'm going to press C to enable highlight mode. I'm going to highlight all these faces. Then I'm going to unhighlight the ones I didn't mean to highlight by pressing the scroll wheel button. Alright, and then I'm going to click smooth vertex. Maybe I'll press S to make it a little bigger. Yeah, bring it forward just a little bit. Alright, that looks good to me. Alright, so now we're going to tab out of edit mode and just take a look in object mode. He looks good. I like him. Alright, so now we're going to choose the different colors for our character. To start off, I'm just going to give his body one blue color, and then I'm going to give his eye area a white and his mouth area a red. And we'll see where we're at from there, and then we'll work on the exact proportions for the toon shadings and whatnot. Alright. So the whole object is set to this material, so I'm just going to edit this one. I like that blue right there. I'm actually going to turn on shadeless right now. And I'm doing this in the materials tab. It's located right here where my mouse is. Alright, I'm switching to edit mode, pressing tab. Okay, and right now I have my eye area selected. If you don't have yours selected, I'm actually missing some. But select all the area that you want to be kind of the white of the eye. Alright, and click this plus tab right here next to the material slot, and it creates a new material. So we'll click new. It's already set to white, and I'm just going to click shadeless. And so to assign these faces to this material instead of the blue material, we just click assign with them selected. Alright, and now we're going to do the same thing for the mouth. I'm going to select all the faces that I want to be red. I'm going to go into X-ray mode, make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, that's good. And I'm going to add another material. Click new. I'm going to find a red that I like. Red's always hard for me to find. There it is. Maybe a little darker. Didn't quite like that one. There we go. Right there. I'm going to make that shadeless as well. And I'm going to assign it. Alright. Now I'm going to tab out of edit mode. That's what we got so far. I'm going to move my camera. I'm going to right click it to select it, and then press Alt R, Alt G. And that's going to remove its rotation, remove its location, and bring it to the center. And then I'm just going to drag it out away from my character, rotate it 90 degrees, negative 90 degrees. Right, if I press 0, it will take me to camera view. Okay, so that's not quite far enough. I can't see all of the character yet. Bring it back a little farther. Okay, that's pretty good. And then I'm going to press F12 to render. Alright, and there's my character. Okay, and I did say I'm going to show you guys how to use Freestyle. But first, Freestyle, for me, maybe I'm using a setting wrong or something, but it always seems that there's one gap on the outer edge, my outer outline. So to fix that, I just use the old edge renderer. So you just go to render settings here, click post processing, and click edge. And we can leave the threshold really low because really the only thing I want to use it for is the outer edge. So press F12, and there we go. The only kind of downfall to this is you can't edit how the edge looks if you want a calligraphy style, but for what we're doing, this is fine. Okay, so we're gonna go back to our materials again, and we're gonna work with the body material first. So let's turn shadeless off, and just so you can see the difference, I'm gonna render it with shadeless off. So I don't have any light right now, so you can't really see anything. So let me take this light, drag it out here. I'm gonna actually switch this to texture mode, and that way I can see where my lighting is. I'm gonna move it closer to him. Okay, and all I did was when I had this one selected, this lamp, I clicked Shift D, and it duplicated it, and all I did was drag it up on the Z-axis. Alright. Okay, let's go back to our character, and we'll look at the render again. Right, so that's how it looks now. Let's add, right here in the diffuse settings, it's set to Lambert. Let's change that to Toon. And for specular, let's change that to Toon also. Okay, so on the specular, we're going to leave that at white, but we're going to turn the intensity way down. And then for the diffuse, we're going to increase the intensity. We're going to increase the size. I want it smooth. About right there. Okay, let's see what that gives us. Alright, so if we look at our character now, he has this dark shading around his edges, and that's because there isn't enough light getting to him. What we can do, we can increase the size a little bit. And the smoothness, but ultimately we're going to have to do something a little different with our lighting. So I'm going to go to the add menu up here, and I'm going to add a new lamp. I'm going to add a spot lamp. Press 3 to go into side view mode. And then I'm going to press R to rotate. Rotate it in the direction of my character. Then I'm just gonna position it. Alright. So I want one to be on this side. And we'll click Shift D. And I would like one to be on the other side. At about the same position, so they're kind of like mirroring each other. If you look at this, I believe this is the y-axis. Alright, and then I'm going to delete our old lamps, the two spot lamps. Alright, let's see what we got. Awesome, that's pretty cool. It is a lot darker now without those two lamps. Let's see what it looks like with those two lamps. Alright. That's not too bad. I'm just going to play around with the settings here. See what it gives me. Alright, so I have my intensity set to 1, my size set to 1.046, and my smoothness set to 0.771, and that's about where I like it. Okay, so I'm going to change my viewport shading back to solid. I'm going to select all my lamps, and I'm going to press H to hide them. Alright. Actually, I'm going to hide the camera too. Alright, I like the way the mouth looks, but in order to continue this kind of cartoon look, we're going to have to put some outlines around the eyes and the mouth. This is where Freestyle is going to come in handy. Now, it still has a toon look, and if you didn't want to, you really wouldn't have to put outlines around them. But for the sake of showing you guys Freestyle, I'm going to do that. Alright, so we're going to switch the render settings, and we're going to scroll down right underneath where we enabled our edge in post-processing. We're going to check the mark that says Freestyle, and you can have a look here. at the settings. The line thickness is set to 1, and it's set to absolute, and we're gonna leave everything the same right there. Now we're gonna go up to scene settings, and it's right next to the render settings. And if you scroll down, you'll see freestyle line set. Alright, we're gonna disable everything, and we're gonna enable edge mark. Okay, so what is an edge mark? An edge mark is where you mark the edges that you want Freestyle to produce as lines, no matter what. So we're gonna go into edit mode. We're gonna switch into edge mode, and we're gonna mark around where we want Freestyle to create our edges. So I'm actually going to switch into X-ray mode. Switch in and out. Oh man, I didn't hold shift that time. And actually I have a face selected. If you press A, anything you have selected will be unselected. And I'm actually going to hide our subsurface modifier, so it's going to make it easier for me to see the edges, and they're not being cut off by the roundness of our character. So now he looks all kind of flat and stuff now. Now I'm going to select all these edges. Right here where the red meets the blue. And I'm going to press space bar, and I'm going to type edge. And I'm going to scroll down to select, mark freestyle edge. And I'm going to do the same thing with the eyes. Spacebar, mark freestyle edge. Okay. Now we still have our mirror modifier added, so all these edges are actually being added to the other side as well. Now, if I press F12 and render, Freestyle should add the lines to those areas. Okay, so you don't see a line around the mouth because it's actually being hid from the camera. If I add, let me turn our modifier back on. You can see some of it's being hid by our camera because of the view, and because there's kind of this lip around it. We'll work with that right now, but one thing I did notice is the line isn't as thick as these outside lines, so that's actually fine. That's a normal style. You know, your inner lines might be thinner than your outer lines, but I think I'd like it if they were just a little more thicker. So I'm going to go back to freestyle line set, and actually it's in the render settings, the thickness of the line. I think I'm going to make it 1.5, but we'll see. Yep, I like that. Looks fine to me. Cool. And for the mouth, one option we have is actually to unmark these edges. Okay, so now that they're selected, if we press Control E, we can go down and click Clear Freestyle Edge. That should clear the edge. And I actually didn't have all of them selected, so I'm just going to redo that. Clear Freestyle Edge. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is actually select the next edge out, and I'm going to mark this as the freestyle edge. And we have a problem because there's actually some blue behind the edge, but let's take a look and see what that looks like. See, now you can see that it's not red where his mouth actually is. What we're going to do to fix that It's not hard. We're just gonna go into face mode, and we're gonna take this kind of lip area and make that a freestyle edge as well. I mean, make that a kind of the blue color as well. Material, assign. Sign. Okay, I said blue, but I meant red. We're making it that red color. All right, now let's press F12. See what we get. Alright, that's it for this tutorial. I'm happy with the way my character is turning out. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to use textures to give him pupils for his eyes, and we're also going to start rigging the character. Alright, so thank you. If you like these videos, please subscribe, and don't forget to visit us at blender2d.com.